students of BSc first semester. So welcome to physics classes by Sarabdeep Kaur Sidhu. So our next topic is that is a coupled oscillator. This is also a very important topic. Coupled oscillator, from the name here, that when two or more oscillators or pendulums they are coupled together, they form a coupled oscillator. And there are some characteristics of a coupled oscillator, that there is a mutual exchange of energy. So there is a mutual exchange of energy between the oscillators. And the driving and driven system, because in a oscillator there are two systems, one is a driven system and other is a driving system or driving agency. So in the coupled oscillator, the driving and driven system are indistinguishable. Means that we can't distinguish between the driving system or driven system. Driven system may be driving or driving system may be driven system. Clear? Then means you can say there is a continuous supply of energy between the driven system and driving system. Clear? So these are the main characteristics of this coupled oscillator. In other types of oscillators, we know that which is a driven system and which is a driving. Okay. Next is the types, how the oscillators can be coupled. So the two or more you can say, but here we couple two oscillators. Two oscillators may be coupled. Two oscillators may be coupled to a common component. What are these components? First is stiffness. Stiffness may be due to stiffness. You can say with the help of a spring. When we join two pendulums, two oscillators with the help of a spring, like this. In this. These are the two. This is a mechanical oscillator, this is a mechanical oscillator, and these two oscillators are coupled together with the help of this spring. So this is a stiffness control or stiffness coupled oscillator. Okay? Then this is also, these are the two pendulums. One pendulum is this, second pendulum is this, and they are coupled together with the help of a spring. So this is also an example of a stiffness coupled oscillators or oscillator, and this is stiffness coupled pendulum. Clearly? And in the case of you can say this is in the case of mechanical oscillator, and in the case of electrical oscillator, this may be a capacitor instead of this, and in case of mass, this is inductance, like this. This is an example of coupled electrical oscillator. They are coupled with each other with this inductance or mutual inductance. So we will also discuss in details all these types, and also through a resistance in the case of electrical, and viscosity, friction, that we know that the damping forces are due to friction and viscosity in the case of mechanical oscillator. So the main oscillator, coupled oscillator, which we will discuss and that is also in our syllabus, that is the oscillator, you can say the two pendulums when they are coupled together with the help of a spring, and electrical oscillator, coupled oscillator. So we will discuss one by one in these. So in this lecture we will discuss first that is a write down, that is a stiffness. I will write the stiffness coupled pendulum. Stiffness coupled pendulum. Or you can say when two pendulums are coupled together with the help of a spring, and we take two pendulums, they are two masses which are suspended from a rigid support, and these are the two pendulums. One is both having, this is pendulum P1 and this is pendulum P2, and both having masses M and M, and they are suspended from a rigid support, and this string, you can say, or a thread, this is a inextensible This is a massless and inextensible spring or thread, and they are attached with each other. When we attach, now they are independent, and when we attach them with the help of something that is a spring, then they become coupled oscillator. So we couple them with the help of a spring. Clear? So this is now this is a coupled oscillator. Now we next, what is our aim? Now we want to find out the differential equation for this coupled oscillator, and then we will find out the equation of motion of this. This is a very important topic for from examination point of view. So now these are in equilibrium position. They are in equilibrium position. So you have to write that we are taking two pendulums having inextensible suspended from a rigid support, and this thread is inextensible and massless, and they are attached with each other with the help of this spring. Then this become a coupled oscillator. Now this is a equilibrium position. When we want that there are oscillations, we disturb them from equilibrium position. When they are disturbed from this oscillator disturbed from an equilibrium position, then what is the diagram of that disturbance? Like this. This is its mean position like this. Now it disturbed from this, and this is here, and when this disturbs, this also. So this is its equilibrium position. Now this disturbs, this is its disturbance. Now this is clear, and this, now this is equilibrium position, and this is the displacement by this pendulum, that is P1, and this is the, that is Y, this is the displacement by pendulum P2. Clear? So this is equilibrium position having masses, both pendulums have masses m. Now this is when disturbed from equilibrium position, this is the displacement by pendulum P1, and this is the displacement by pendulum P2. Clear? Now we want to find out the you can say the restoring forces. So there are two types of restoring forces here. One is the restoring, so write down the restoring forces. First is restoring force due to weight, and second is restoring force due to elasticity of the spring. Elasticity of the spring. So there are two types of restoring forces. So what is the, now we have to find out these restoring forces, then we find out the net force, then put second Newton's second law of motion. So what is the restoring force due to weight? Yes, restoring force. Now we have this position. I will this is a pendulum P1, and this is you can say its displacement, that is x. Clear? Now its final position is this, and if this is angle theta, this angle is theta, and the length of the pendulums are L. So this is the length of the pendulum L when it disturbs. Now this is the weight, this is equilibrium position, this is the weight mg, this is weight mg, and this will be mg cos theta when we resolve, and this will be mg sin theta. So mg weight, that is resolved into two parts because this angle is also theta. So this will be in this side mg cos theta, and in this direction mg sin theta. And this is a massless and inextensible string, so there will be a tension T. So T is the tension. Now this mg cos theta will balance the tension T. So the remaining force is only restoring force, only remaining, that is the, here is only mg sin theta. So restoring force, first part, restoring force, I write here the restoring force due to weight, that is equal to, now this will be minus mg sin theta. This is for pendulum P1, for pendulum, write down for P1. This is minus mg sin theta. Clearly? And what about the sin theta? This is x displacement, this is L. So sin theta will be x by L, sin theta will be x by L. So this is minus mg x by L, minus mg x by L. Now restoring force for P2, restoring force. Now for second pendulum, instead of x there will be y, there will be y, rest is same. So for P2, restoring force, that will be minus mg sin theta, and that is equal to minus mg y by L. So these are the restoring forces due to weight. This is for pendulum P1 and this is for pendulum P2. Now the second restoring force. Second restoring force is, please pay attention here, the restoring force due to elasticity of the spring. That you know elasticity of the spring. Elasticity means extension or compression in the spring. That is directly proportional to restoring force due to elasticity is directly proportional to mod of x minus y. I will explain this. So when we disturb the this system, this coupled oscillator from a equilibrium position, then there is a disturbance, there are the oscillations. So if there is a disturbance in this P1 pendulum, then there is also in P2. So the change in length is x minus, because x and y both will change. So total net change in length will be x minus y. Change in length will be you can say change in length, that is equal to x minus y mod. Now what will be change in length for pendulum P1 and what will be change in length for pendulum P2? That we have to write. So I write here the change in length, the change in length for P1, that is equal to x minus y when seen from P2. So when we want to find out the change in length for pendulum P1, and when we see it from P2, it will be x minus y. And for P2 it is equal to y minus x. It will be y minus x. Now we have change in length and restoring force due to elasticity of the spring, that is equal to spring constant. S is a spring constant into change in length. So we can find out that. So I rub this and write down here the change in restoring force due to elasticity of spring for P1, that is equal to minus s, restoring force minus s into change in length, that is for P1 when seen from P2, that is x minus y, and for P2 that is equal to minus s y minus x. So these are the restoring forces for pendulum P1 and P2. So now we combine these. When we combine these restoring forces, what we get? Yes, what we get? So this is equation number 1. This is equation number 2. This is equation number 3. And this is equation number 4. Now we want the equation of motions for pendulum P1 and P2 separately first, then we add them. So write down for pendulum P1, the net force will be mg x over l minus mg x over l, restoring force due to weight and restoring force due to elasticity, that is minus sx minus y. So we add both, minus sx minus y. So this is for pendulum P1, and this force will be equal to, this force will be equal to mass into acceleration, mass into acceleration, and for pendulum P1 the displacement is x. So this is, take it equation number 5th, take it equation number 5th. Now for pendulum P2, for pendulum P2, the restoring force due to weight, that is minus mg x y over l. So minus mg y over l minus s y minus x minus s y minus x, that will be equal to m into double derivative of y with respect to t. This is equation number 6. So I think that all is clear to you. Clear? So we found the restoring forces due to weight and then due to elasticity of the spring, because when we compress or extend the string, the change in length will be mod of x minus y. So please take care of this. So these are the two equation of motions. Now we combine them and then we find the equation of motion for a coupled oscillator. So when now adding equation 5th and 6th. First add equation 5th and 6th. So we have two equations. So write down, add add equation 5th and 6th. So when you add these two equations, what will be equation? M into double derivative of, yes, can I write this? Because when we separate them, this will become m into double derivative of t with respect x with respect to t, y with respect to t. So I take m into this. Clear? And this will be minus mg upon l. We add these, minus mg over l, I take common. Then inside the bracket there will be x and y. So x plus y. So this is when we add this. Now subtract. Now subtract this 5th from 5th or 6th, subtracting 5th and 6th you can say. So when we subtract them, subtracting 6th from 5th, when we then write down subtracting 6th from 5th, so subtracting, what you get on the right hand side, m into double derivative of x minus 1 with respect to t, and in this side when we add these two terms cancelled, and when we subtract this from this, so minus mg upon l, x minus y, so this minus this, so this term become plus, so I take minus mg over l common here, so x and minus will become plus. Okay? So next minus s plus this, so this will be minus s x minus y, this is minus plus s into y minus x. So this minus this will be plus. So taking x minus s, I take common. Minus s, x minus y, yes, we take common. Then what will be the, I think 2 times it will be taking common, minus s x minus y common, this will be, or you can say x minus y will be common. So when x minus y will be common, minus s minus of this, when I write this y minus x minus y, so minus will be outside. Clear? Can I write this? Minus, so minus y plus x, so minus s, so this is minus 2s x minus y. So this will be minus 2s x minus y. So this is the next equation. Clear? When we add and subtract. So minus s x minus y plus s y minus x. Clear? Clear? Because I write here minus 2s by m because minus s x minus y minus s y minus x. Minus s, this will be plus, and when I take x minus y want to common, minus s I take common, this will be x minus y. So minus 2s. Okay ji? So this is taking this equation as 7 and this as 8. So this is our final you can say equations. So we now make them simple. How we can make them simple? Yes. 7th and 8th equation. Yes, this and this. So I divide whole equation by m. When we divide whole by m, this will be cancelled out. This will be cancelled out by dividing by m. And in this way also this m goes and this 2s by m and this m also goes. Now rearrange them. When we rearrange them, the equations will be, and taking this minus in this left hand side. So this is the, I divide both equations by m. Now taking this is minus, when it come in this side equation number 7, then this becomes plus and this will be equal to 0. So take it equation number 9. Take it equation number 9. In this way, same is in this way. So double derivative of x minus y this side and plus g over l plus 2s by m. Clear? Both will, when this become right, this will be on right hand side, these two terms will become plus x minus y, this will be equal to 0. Take this equation as 10th equation. This equation as 10th equation. So these are the 9th and 10th equations. So now these are the equations of, you can say, the equation of motions of a coupled oscillator. But these two equations are, you can say, independent equations. These two equations are independent equations. So now we can we put this x plus y something. So put x plus y, put here, write down, put x plus y is equal to capital X and small x minus y, that is equal to capital Y, and g by L that is omega 1 square, and g by L plus 2s by m, that is equal to omega 2 square. So put in these equations. When you put in these two equations, so x plus y, this becomes capital X, this becomes capital X, plus put g by L is equal to omega 1 square. So plus omega 1 square into capital X, this will be equal to 0. So 9th equation will be reduced to this equation. Similarly, equation number 10. So double derivative of this capital Y is equal to small x minus y. So this is capital Y plus g by L plus 2s by m. G by L plus 2s by m, that is equal to omega 2 square. I put, so this is omega 2 square y, this is equal to 0. So this is now equation number 10 reduces to this. Equation number 9 reduces to this by putting these two values. Now see, these two equations, taking equation number A and B then, taking this as equation number A and taking this as equation number B. Now, what are equation number A and B? The equation number A and B, these are independent simple harmonic equations, because this is just like the equation of a simple harmonic oscillator. Omega 1 is the frequency, differential equation for simple harmonic motion in terms of capital X, and this is also equation for differential equation for simple harmonic oscillator in terms of Y. Where what is omega 1? Omega 1 is the frequency, that angular frequency, and this is equal to G by L, and this is another term, that is stiffness term is here, plus 2S by L. So they are independent equations of simple harmonic, but the both A and B when combined, A and B combined, they are the differential equations for differential equations for coupled system, and the coupled system is here the two pendulums coupled with the spring. So both equation combined, they give the differential equation for a coupled oscillator. Clear? Here the coupled oscillator is two pendulum joints, stiffness coupled pendulums, two pendulums. Now what are capital X and capital Y? Now the another two terms which are here, and they are very important, that are the first is the normal coordinate. Yes, this is very important. The question paper on there, what are normal coordinates, what are normal mods, what are normal frequencies. First normal coordinates, then normal mods, and third is the normal frequencies. This is very, very, very important, and you have to write the whole article if the question is long question. So what are normal coordinates? So normal coordinates here are capital X and capital Y. The normal coordinates here are the capital X and Y. Okay. So how you can define the normal coordinates? You can say these are the parameters. In terms of which the oscillations of coupled system can be described in terms of differential equations. With constant coefficients. Okay? And these normal coordinates are capital X and capital Y. So capital X and capital Y, they are the parameters in terms of which the oscillations of coupled system can be described in terms of differential equations. These are the differential equations with constant coefficients, omega 1 and omega 2. Clear? So this is about the normal coordinates. Then is the normal mods. Yes, normal mods means the manner of oscillation. Mod means the manner of oscillation. Normal mod means manner of oscillation. What are the manners for the oscillations? So for this you can say there are two manners. How the system is coupled, how they can move in both the oscillators may move in one side or right side, both in left side, or one in this side and other is in this side. So these are the manners how they can oscillate. So this is called normal mod. Clear? And they are also, I will explain This is also X mod and Y mod. So at a time one mod is present. At a time one mod is present. So capital X mod, when a capital X mod is present means capital Y is 0. So when X mod is present, capital Y is equal to 0. Clear? And when Y mod is present, then X mod means Y mod is equal to 0, and when Y mod is present, that means that X mod is 0. Means X is equal to 0. So yes, now detail. When there is a capital X mod, capital Y is 0. So if capital Y is 0 means X minus Y is 0, means X is equal to Y. So this is called in phase. Please pay attention. This is called in phase mod. This is called in phase mod. And when Y mod is present and X mod is absent, then capital X, that is equal to small x plus y. This is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus y. X is equal to minus y. This is called out of phase mod. This is called out of phase mod. So this is in phase mod. How can we diagrammatically show these? So we can show these diagrammatically as I rub these. No, I will show here that I rub this and write here double derivative of x plus over t square plus omega 1 square x, that is equal to 0, and second is double derivative of y with respect to t square plus omega 2 square y, that is equal to 0. I write there. Now I will draw the diagrams. Yes, I will draw the diagram here that this is the Ridger spot and the pendulum. One pendulum will be here towards right, another will also towards right. P1 and P2. Clear? So one option may be this, and second option may be one is in this side and other is in this side. This option. Clear? And third option may be both may be in left side. Both may be left side. Like this. This is P1, this is P2. This is P2, this is P1. Clear, Ji? Clear? So this is pendulum P1 is also towards this side, right side, and P2 is also towards right side. So both are in same side. So this is in phase mod. This is in phase mod. Same is in here. Both are in left side. P1 is also, P2 is also. This is also in phase mod. And in this diagram, this is out of phase. This is out of phase. This is in phase. This is also in phase. Clear? In this, one is towards left side and other is towards right side. So these are the normal mods. So there are two mods. One is in phase and other is out of phase mod. At time one mod is present, either capital X or capital Y. Clear? Then is the normal frequencies. So now I think you can understand what are normal frequencies. The normal frequencies are omega 1 and omega 2. The normal frequencies are, because there are two equations and combined equations give the differential equation for a coupled oscillator. So normal frequencies are omega 1 and omega 2. The normal frequencies are omega 1 and 2. Omega 1 is under root g by l. This is angular. And if you want to find out the frequency exactly, 2 pi nu naught you can write here and you will get that this is equal to 2 pi nu 1. You can find out mu 1 is equal to 1 over 2 pi under root g by l. And similarly omega 2, that is equal to g by l plus 2s by m under root, and this is equal to 2 pi nu naught. Mu naught is equal to 1 over 2 pi under root g by l plus 2s by m. This is equal to mu 2. So these are the two frequencies which are called the normal frequencies for a coupled oscillator. So This is very important article because this always come in exams. What are normal coordinates, what is normal frequency, and what are normal modes. So thank you very much. In the next lecture we will find out the solution of this differential equations. Thank you.